Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Resynced. Edward Kenway's story begins the same way it always had. After surviving a naval battle between British and Spanish ships, he reaches an island where he kills the assassin Duncan Walpole and steals his identity to pursue wealth and opportunity. He travels to Havana, believing he can profit by selling information to powerful men. Unknown to him, the memories of this journey are no longer unfolding as they originally did. Inside the Animus, something has changed. Hidden fragments of Edward's genetic memories, erased long ago by the first civilization, begin resurfacing. Instead of reliving one fixed history, the Animus reconstructs an older version of Edward's life, a version no one has ever seen. The modern assassins call this phenomenon resynchronization. As Edward continues his journey across the Caribbean, he begins noticing places that should not exist. Ancient ruins appear on islands that were empty before. Entire forts vanish overnight, while forgotten pirate hideouts emerge from dense jungle. Sailors across the West Indies speak of strange lights beneath the sea and ships disappearing without a trace. Edward eventually discovers that the observatory was never the only Isu structure hidden in the Caribbean. Thousands of years before humanity built civilizations, the Isu created a network of vaults connected beneath the islands. These vaults stored historical records capable of preserving every event that ever happened, along with events that might have happened under different circumstances. One vault, known as the Archive of Echoes, was sealed after the Great Catastrophe because it possessed the ability to alter the memories of future generations. The Templars secretly learn of the archive through recovered writings left behind by Bartholomew Roberts. Instead of focusing solely on the observatory, Grandmaster Laureano Torres orders an expedition to locate the archive before the assassins can reach it. His goal is no longer simply controlling individuals through the observatory's surveillance device. He intends to rewrite history itself by removing every memory of the Assassin Brotherhood from humanity's collective past. Edward initially dismisses the conflict, believing both sides are once again chasing myths. However, his perspective changes after he discovers entire events from his own life have begun changing. Battles he clearly remembers no longer happen the same way. Pirates who originally died are alive again, while others disappear without explanation. Even maps of the Caribbean seem different every time he studies them. As synchronization between memory and history weakens, reality becomes unstable. Islands shift locations. Ancient temples emerge from beneath the ocean. Ships sail through storms only to emerge in places impossible to reach. Both the assassins and Templars realize that history itself is becoming fluid. Edward returns to Nassau expecting to reunite with familiar allies. Instead, he finds a secret assassin brotherhood that had never existed in the original timeline. This brotherhood has remained hidden for centuries, protecting the Archive of Echoes from anyone seeking to alter history. Their mentor explains that every memory relived through the Animus reinforces one version of the past. If enough memories become corrupted, history itself begins rewriting around them. Recognizing Edward's unique ability to perceive these changes, the Brotherhood recruits him. Rather than becoming an assassin because of friendship and personal loss, Edward joins after realizing that greed has endangered reality itself. For the first time, he fights not for treasure but to preserve the truth. The search for the archive leads Edward across forgotten Isu temples buried beneath Jamaica, Cuba, the Cayman Islands, and the Yucatan Peninsula. Each temple contains fragments of an ancient machine called the Synchronizer, a device capable of stabilizing or rewriting human memory across generations. While collecting these fragments, Edward encounters powerful First Civilization defenses that remained dormant for over 70,000 years. Meanwhile, the Templars gather their own pieces of the machine. Torres believes humanity can achieve permanent peace by erasing all memory of conflict, rebellion, and freedom. He argues that if people never remembered the assassins, resistance would disappear forever. As both sides race toward the final chamber beneath the observatory, reality deteriorates further. Time fractures around the Caribbean. Edward witnesses echoes of the past and future simultaneously. He sees ancient Isu cities standing where pirate ports should be. He witnesses future skyscrapers rising over Havana before vanishing moments later. The sea itself begins revealing civilizations long buried beneath the waves. The final confrontation takes place inside the Archive of Echoes, an immense underground city untouched since the fall of the Isu. At its center rests the Synchronizer, powered by a piece of Eden unlike any discovered before. Rather than controlling minds directly, it controls how history is remembered. The Templars activate the machine, beginning to erase key moments of assassin victories throughout history. As memories disappear, members of the Brotherhood begin fading from existence. Edward realizes that if the process continues, the Assassin Order will never have existed at all. Using both his experience as a pirate and his training as an assassin, Edward fights through the collapsing archive while the ancient machine destabilizes. Earthquakes tear through the underground city as centuries of conflicting history collide. Ancient records, Isu technology, and human memories merge into one chaotic stream. Edward reaches the Synchronizer and faces a final choice. He can rewrite history to undo every mistake of his life, saving friends who died and preventing countless tragedies, or he can destroy the machine forever and preserve history exactly as it happened. Remembering that freedom means accepting both triumphs and failures, Edward destroys the Synchronizer. The resulting explosion collapses the archive, burying its secrets beneath the Caribbean forever. Reality stabilizes and history returns to a single timeline. However, all evidence of the hidden Brotherhood and the archive disappears from the world, leaving only faint traces within Edward's memories. Edward returns to England a changed man. His journey has taught him that history belongs to no king, no empire, no Templar, and no assassin. It belongs to humanity, and its truth must remain untouched no matter how painful it may be. In the modern day, the assassins recover these forgotten memories through the resynchronization event. They realize that someone within Abstergo had been attempting to manipulate the Animus to erase inconvenient parts of history. Edward's recovered memories expose the conspiracy, proving that the greatest weapon is not a piece of Eden, but control over what people remember. The final recovered file is labeled Black Flag Resynced. It contains a warning left by the ECU thousands of years earlier. History can survive war, disaster, and time, but it cannot survive those who choose to rewrite it.